But any team with aging superstars must think about next steps. By bringing in Seth and betting on Sotto's development, the Warriors appear to be laying the groundwork for transition, a graceful handoff or a bridge to post-Steph eras. But this isn't just roster stacking. To fully understand how the Warriors' future is shifting, we need to examine where the team is coming from. In recent seasons, the team has leaned heavily on experience and championship DNA. Stephen, Draymond, Klay. Before his departure, veteran leadership. Yet as injuries mounted and age set in, the burden fell on young wings like Jonathan Kuminga. In fact, Kuminga recently resolved his contract standstill with a 2-year, $48.5 million deal. That win gives Golden State some flexibility and stability in youth development. With Kuminga locked in, the Warriors can afford to be bold in other additions like Sotto and Seth, because they still have a core of youth tied to the team. We also see the Warriors reinforcing depth. They've brought in veterans like Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton to stabilize the frontcourt and backcourt rotations. These are smart veteran pieces who bring experience, spacing, defense, and locker room leadership. Combine that with youthful upside, Kuminga, maybe Sotto, and the scoring punch of the Currys, and the Warriors may be crafting a multi-layered roster that can still contend while preparing for the future. But no transformation is without tension. Questions loom. How many minutes will Seth get? Will Sotto adapt to NBA speed and strength? Can the coaching staff integrate him without sacrificing current wins? What becomes of other rotation players? These are real, tough balancing decisions. The front office must thread the needle, honoring the present while investing in the future. Let's map a possible scenario. The Warriors enter training camp with high expectations. Seth earns his spot as a bench 3-and-D shooter, occasionally closing games. Sotto fights for minutes, especially against smaller lineups, giving a defensive edge and helping with rim protection. Stephen plays his usual shot-making role, while veterans like Melton, Horford, and others hold the line. Kuminga continues evolving as a two-way piece. Over 2 or 3 seasons, as Stephen's minutes decline, Seth's role could expand, if his body holds, and Sotto might mature into a foundational big. The Warriors could pivot to a new base, shooting, spacing, defense, and youth, but anchored by Curry's legacy. Of course, things may not go perfectly. Sotto might struggle to stay healthy. Seth, already in his mid-30s, might lose his explosiveness. The chemistry may not translate. But the fact the Warriors are taking this risk shows they want to build ahead, not merely ride out the tail end of an era. In a move that has stunned basketball fans everywhere, the Golden State Warriors are setting a new chapter in motion. With Kai Sotto arriving, Seth Curry joining, and Stephen Curry standing beside them, a moment that signals more than just a roster tweak, but the possible shaping of a bold new future for the franchise. From the gleaming courts of San Francisco to the whispers behind front office doors, everything points to one thing. The Warriors believe the next era begins now. As the 2025-26 season approaches, the organization is no longer just riding on the tailwinds of past championships. They are actively re-engineering for what comes next, and with these arrivals, the balance of power, identity, and legacy in Golden State may shift forever. Let's start with the arrival of Kai Sotto. For fans in the Philippines and across Asia, Sotto represented a beacon of hope, a giant towering in the paint, a player with length, size, and international pedigree. Now word is swirling, and social media is buzzing, that he has arrived in San Francisco, seen in Bay Area neighborhoods, heading toward possibly linking with the Warriors organization. The mere presence of Sotto on the Warriors campus sends a message. The franchise is looking not just to reload, but to reshape. In an NBA where big men are increasingly rare, a 7-foot-plus, mobile big with rim protection and shot-blocking potential becomes a rare asset. If the Warriors can develop him, integrate him into their defensive schemes, and unlock lateral mobility, Sotto might become the kind of force that gives them a distinct internal spine for years to come. Meanwhile, the more immediate move that's capturing headlines is Seth Curry's reported signing with Golden State, reuniting him with his brother Stephen Curry. Yes, the Splash siblings might soon be reality. Multiple outlets are confirming a one-year non-guaranteed deal, an Exhibit 9 contract, that gives Seth the chance to attend training camp and fight for a spot. For a franchise built on elite shooting, adding Seth, one of the most accurate three-point shooters in league history, makes immediate sense. Last season, Seth shot 45.6% from three, leading the NBA. Even if his minutes are limited, the threat of turning on that shot draws defensive attention, opening lanes for others. The chemistry between the brothers could become a subtle, potent weapon. Imagine defenses forced to balance coverage for both Currys, or struggling to contain backcourt spacing across rotations. Now, when you put Sotto, Seth, and Steven together under one umbrella, the implications ripple outward. Stephen Curry remains the franchise's heartbeat. He just signed a one-year extension worth $62.6 million, extending him through the 2026-27 season. That contract signals the Warriors' continued belief that he is not yet done, that he remains capable of carrying championship-level performance into his late 30s. Historically, dynasties that don't evolve die. The Bulls, the Spurs, the Lakers, all had to reinvent or fade. The Warriors now stand at that crossroads. The additions of Sotto and Seth, with Steven, and the veterans and young core in place, are their attempt to evolve while preserving identity. Narratively, this shift frames a more strategic Golden State, from one generation to the next. From a team built solely on splash shooting and guard play to a more balanced team with interior presence, spacing, and veteran leadership. From reliance on the past to creation of a new future. So, when you see Stephen Curry standing with his brother Seth and a rising big man like Kai Sotto, don't see it as a sentimental reunion. See it as a franchise planting seeds. A franchise telling the NBA that although age advances, legacy evolves. A franchise saying, "We're not done." The Warriors are not content to coast. They are retooling intelligently. They are preparing to compete beyond the twilight of their greatest star. In the coming season, watch how the rotations shift, how coaching adapts, how matchups change. Watch whether Sotto gets blow by minutes or is eased in. Watch whether Seth knocks down deep shots when the game is tight. Watch whether the Warriors lean on their veteran spine or force the youth forward. All eyes will be on how this bold experiment pays off. So yes, Kai Sotto has arrived, Seth Curry has joined, and Stephen Curry stands with them. And with those moves, the Warriors' future is no longer passive, it is active, dynamic, risky, hopeful. Expect tension, expect growing pains, expect narrative shifts. The dynasty is evolving, not ending. And in that evolution lies the next champion or the next heartbreak. This is Hollywood Vault 8 AM, where we bring you not just the headlines, but the future unfolding in real time. Let's see where this next season takes Golden State.